Third Quiet Place movie, any good? Should you watch it? Let me tell you what I think coming up next. Okay, Quiet Place Day 1 is an alien post-apocalyptic first contact story where bad aliens invade. Here it's New York City. This is Day 1, the invasion day, and subsequent days after that. As you recall, the very first movie, directed by John Krasinski of The Office, took place in the countryside. I think it was several years after this first contact story. It was a very good movie, I thought. A very interesting movie when it came out. I think it's got some basic elements that can endure for a long time, decades, maybe even longer than that, because it's about how to keep kids quiet. There's a scene where a woman's pregnant. She's got to be quiet while she's pregnant, because when these aliens hear you, they run immediately to you and take you off and kill you, I guess. This movie features Lupita Nyong'o, who I think has chemotherapy or is a chemotherapy patient. She's in hospice care, and they take her to New York City for a day, her nurse does, to have an outing. And of course, that's the day of the alien visit, the apocalyptic moment where they come and basically try to wipe out humanity. Well, that's too bad for her. She survives the initial attack. She's in an apocalyptic scenario. She's got to keep surviving. And the whole movie is her getting off, I think, of Manhattan Island and getting to a boat for safety, because these aliens can't survive water. They also can't see. They can hear you really well, though, so if you make any sound whatsoever, including a whisper, you will die. That sets this movie up for, I think, too many very basic things, such as make noise, monster chase, make noise, monster chase, and then a quiet scene of nostalgic, sort of attempted character development, then make noise, monster chase, make noise, monster chase. That's essentially what this movie is. It's not all terrible, though, but I've seen it all before. There's no surprises in this movie at all, including the jump scares, okay? So you're not going to get anything new or novel here, even though the director is Michael Sarnoski, who made the movie Pig, a movie I didn't like personally, but a lot of viewers who like this channel, they liked it a lot, and I can see how they'll like it. I think you should try to watch Pig. Interesting Nicolas Cage movie, by the way. So I thought this movie had more potential. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of surprises here, as I think there ought to have been. Matter of fact, the Nyong'o character has a cat, a service cat, and the cat is the most interesting character in the movie. It's implausible, in my opinion, that this cat never makes noise. Also doesn't care about water. But yeah, they cared about the cat, and there's a couple scenes of cat rescue in this movie, which are ridiculous in a way, because who would go rescue a cat over saving their own lives? I don't know. Okay, some people might. But yeah, I sort of root for the cat more than the white guy who shows up in the middle of the movie and adds not much to me. I didn't see him as an interesting character. Nyong'o gives an interesting performance. She's a silent movie actress in a way, because here she's basically not speaking but showing a lot, so that's good. And what is this movie about? To me, I think it opens with a statement about New York City and the decibel level in New York City, which is equivalent to a scream, 90 decibels if you're in New York City, okay? I think that's ridiculous, because obviously if New York City sounded like a scream, you wouldn't want to visit there or live there. But nevertheless, okay, this is about noise pollution, people being quiet, and the novelty not only of apocalyptic New York City, post-apocalyptic New York City, but the absolute silence of the city, which we have seen in I Am Legend and a million other seemingly post-apocalyptic stories, okay? It's absolutely quiet because nobody's there. That's novel to urban city dwellers, not so much in rural places. That's why I thought the original Quiet Place was interesting, because in a rural place you had to be quiet, and that's unusual for sure if you live in a small town like I do. One of the flaws in this movie for future screenwriters, do not have characters do implausible or really stupid, very stupid things in order to have an exciting Act 3. Here in the middle of the movie, these characters go out for pizza, they stop, they wax nostalgic. It's only been 2 days since the apocalypse, but yet they're waxing nostalgic for the era before the alien invasion. Never mind that they need to hustle quietly to get to a boat that's going to leave, and everyone knows they're supposed to evacuate quickly. These people are just stopping to do basically nothing but having overly sentimental emotions, and that sets up a chase scene in Act 3. That means it's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, that they aren't going to go save themselves, but they're stopping purely for the sake of the movie and not because it makes any darn sense. For that reason, I will give this 1.5 stars, a very low rating, but I do see some value in this movie being a novel, quiet experience. Now, the first two Quiet Place movies did that already, and I can name a bunch of movies. War of the Planet of the Apes, Scorsese's Silence. A bunch of movies in recent years have been very quiet, and deliberately so. Kind of an escape from an urban environment that's loud. Okay, so getting away from noise pollution. But given the things I said about this, there's nothing new. I didn't connect to the characters. The cat's the best character in the movie. Nothing totally outstanding besides maybe the soundscape, I suppose. And I think that's the reason I didn't not like this movie very much, even though I'm definitely going to see any movie that is a post-apocalyptic alien invasion story like this in the future. Well, that's my opinion. What did you think of A Quiet Place Day One? You can compare it to the other two movies. You can compare it to something else like an alien invasion story. I think that's a place to start. But what did you feel in this movie? Let us know in the comments. Please subscribe to this channel for more great content. Thank you. Have a great day.